Here in the United States, something big is happening. And this has many states wondering, how can they help? How can they provide more to their residents? Well, here's the thing. Several states are now trying to end property taxes. So if you own a home or you rent a place, this is going to impact you. This is not only going to impact people that are living in the state, but people that work in the state or go to school in those states as well. I'm going to break down what's going on at this time, what these many states are considering, and how this could impact you moving forward. So, if you have any questions, let me know down in the comment section below. But before I get to the new update, do me a favor. If you like these daily updates, all I ask is one thing, takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button, and now let's begin. So this has been something that we have discussed many times in the past. How can states provide a better service? And how can states provide a better place for people to live? Well, one of the things that many residents of multiple states have said is that their taxes are going through the roof. Look at this. It says several states seek to end to property taxes shouldn't have to pay rent from the government. This is something that we see all the time. Even if you own a home, you still have property taxes that you have to pay. That's what's so frustrating for many people, especially seniors who have been paying property taxes, own their home outright, right? Have no other cost, but now they have to pay property taxes. It's a huge issue, and it's a burden for many people.
We know
But
how much.
here's the reason why I bring this up. Over the past several weeks, really, I've been getting a lot of emails, messages from people saying that their property taxes went through the roof. I have a friend of mine who he built his home this past year, and the land itself is probably worth about $400,000 to $500,000. The home that he put on it is closer to about maybe $2.4 million. Now, what happens, especially with new home builds, and I don't know if, I think this is in every state, but I could be wrong, but in most cases, you're initially assessed a property tax value, right? The amount that you're paying in property taxes, the value is just going off the piece of land. But once that home is built and you get your certificate of occupancy, then usually the next year they'll come out and they'll reassess it, and then your taxes will jump. That's exactly what happened. Okay? And this is happening all over the country. I want to play this clip for you though. Listen to this.
To paying your property taxes? Well, lawmakers in Pennsylvania and Florida are actually pushing to abolish property taxes altogether. They say you're basically paying rent to the government. So who pays the most in government rent? Well, that would be New Jersey. And who pays the least? That's Alabama. The average level of property taxes paid in the United States was $2,969, a sizable chunk of change. But it's not just property taxes on the chopping block. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says President Trump wants to eliminate federal income taxes for anyone making less than $150,000 a year. That's 93% of Americans. Okay.
So right there. So President Trump wants to eliminate income tax on the federal level if you make under $150,000 per year. According to many reports, and this is where things get a little bit complicated. There's been reports that some lawmakers want to push it out there that if you have a house, and again, here's where it gets complicated. In certain cities, you pay more for a home. Let's say in here in Washington State, the Seattle or Bellevue area, you're going to pay $1 million plus. Okay, but you go out to some smaller areas, Spokane, Washington, for instance, right? The majority of people aren't paying $1 million for a home in Spokane, Washington. Okay, and then you get out further from Spokane, there's smaller cities, whatever, and you're not paying $500,000 for a home. In many cases, you're paying $300,000 to $400,000. Well, here's what some lawmakers are saying. I'm not saying this is happening here in Washington State, but in other states, is could we offer the lower income households, even the middle income households, could we provide some type of benefit where, okay, if you make under, or if your home is, let's say, $500,000 or less, right? You don't have to pay the full 100% of the property tax amount. But people that have $1 million homes that are likely to be able to afford the property taxes a little bit easier, maybe they pay a higher percentage. That's kind of what they're discussing, okay? But I want to read this article to you. This is an article from Fox News. It says right here, as tax day nears, fiscally conservative leaders in several states are pushing to abolish property taxes, with one Pennsylvania lawmaker arguing that homeowners shouldn't have to pay rent to the government. Says that lawmaker, State Representative Russ Diamond, spoke to Fox News. He says ahead of his latest effort to end the collection of such taxes, says Diamond will put forward a resolution titled HB 900, which Fox News Digital learned exclusively will be filed imminently. The document is a draft constitutional amendment he hopes will go to the voters on Election Day, and not a typical piece of legislation requiring gubernatorial approval. Okay? Goes on to say, Pennsylvania Republicans previously utilized the constitutional amendment process to accelerate the rollback of the COVID lockdowns imposed by then Governor Tom Wolf and then Health Secretary Rachel Levine by placing the amendment directly before voters on Election Day. Okay. Now, what you need to understand about what's going on right now is that people are trying to fight for their constituents. Okay? But and again, this is where it gets complicated. Taxes right now are something that everybody's talking about. President Trump has been talking about this for quite some time, right? Eliminating taxes on overtime, eliminating taxes on tips, ending taxes on Social Security benefits, or especially income tax there, okay? Then just recently we learned from multiple sources that President Trump wants to end income tax on a federal level from people making less than $150,000 per year. There's also been discussions, again, yes, can we eliminate property taxes? Okay, but here's what you need to understand. Okay, what do property taxes pay for? This is a big one. A lot of people don't know. Okay, property taxes are the primary funding for police officers, EMTs, okay, firefighters, public schools, okay, a big one, okay, libraries, parks in many cases. So just in, like, for instance, the state of California, I wrote down these numbers, okay? In the state of California, this is how it's kind of broken down. This is from 2022 to 2023, okay? Counties received 14%. Cities received 12% of the property taxes that were collected. Schools, this is school districts and community colleges, they got 53%. And other special districts got 20%. All right? So that was kind of how it was broken down in California, where some are saying, well, we don't agree with how public schools are ran, so can we just not pay some of the property taxes that's going to public schools? Because, my kid doesn't go to public school, right? And if your kid doesn't go to public school, should you be paying for public school? That's what a lot of people are asking, okay? Again, if you don't agree with the police force, if you don't agree with what cities are doing with their money or what counties are doing, should you be paying it? Again, this is where, what's happening with DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, this is where a lot of people are speculating, well, if they're making changes because they aren't happy with the way the federal government is spending our money, well, shouldn't we be able to provide some type of change to our cities and our counties and our state? again, it's going to come down to who we vote for to run the city, the county, and the state. So as of right now, again, a lot of speculation, but I wanted to bring this to your attention because several states, okay, Florida is one of them, okay, Pennsylvania another, that they want to eliminate property taxes, just abolish property taxes because they don't agree with how we're spending that money. So we'll see what's going to happen moving forward, but I wanted to share this with you because, again, we're still at the early stages of this, but soon I think we're going to have a lot more updates as to how this really plays out and if more states decide to jump on board. So as we get more updates on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates. That's what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.